They thought her tattoo was a joke, until the woman beneath the hood turned and the courtyard fell silent. No one expected a legend to be standing in the sun that morning. The confrontation began before anyone understood what kind of storm they were stepping into. At the military academy's training yard, under the bright noon light, 3 cadets circled a quiet woman standing near the shooting range. Her hood was low, her sleeves rolled up just enough to show the faded ink on her forearm. A small mark shaped like a serpent coiled through a laurel wreath. They laughed at it, mocked it, called it wannabe tough girl art, and none of them knew they were insulting the insignia of a unit so classified that most officers only whispered about it. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. The woman didn't respond to the cadets' taunts. She simply breathed, slow and mechanical, as if measuring the air itself. Dust drifted around her boots. The sun was warm on her shoulders. She looked like a ghost waiting to wake. One cadet, bolder than the others, stepped closer. His voice cracked with forced confidence as he teased. "So, what's the story? Got that tattoo from a bargain tent at the village fair?" His friends snickered, unaware of the tremor passing through the watching crowd. Nearby recruits paused their drills. Even a senior instructor slowed his walk, studying the scene with a frown. Something felt off, like the atmosphere had thickened. Behind her hood, the woman's jaw clenched. She wasn't angry. She was remembering. The mountains where she'd earned that tattoo. The nights she'd spent listening for the click of a distant rifle. The teammates she'd lost. The choices she'd made that still sat heavy on her chest. She had come here to start over, to disappear into routine training life, believing no one would ever recognize her. She thought she'd never see that insignia again. She was wrong. Because suddenly, a sharp whistle cut through the courtyard. A group of visiting officers approached. Sun glinting off their badges, their shadows stretching long across the ground. The cadets fell silent, and the woman finally lifted her head. The highest-ranking officer, a Marine colonel with silver hair, stopped in front of her. His eyes widened. Not in confusion, in recognition. The cadets looked between them, puzzled, until the colonel spoke the words that froze every breath in the yard. "Ma'am, you didn't tell us you were coming. Ma'am, not sailor. Not recruit. Not civilian. Ma'am, the title reserved for someone who had earned a level of fear and respect most soldiers spend their lives chasing." The courtyard buzzed. Cadets whispered, craning their necks. The woman reached up, fingers steady, and pulled back her hood. Her face emerged into the sunlight, sharp, calm, disciplined. A long scar traced the line of her jaw. Her eyes held the quiet certainty of someone who had watched entire operations unfold through a single rifle scope. A murmur spread like a ripple across water. A female sniper. The female sniper. The ghost of 100 unspoken missions. The colonel nodded toward the range. "If you're willing, Captain, show them how the marksmanship test is supposed to look." A test. A challenge. A reveal. The cadet swallowed hard. She stepped toward the line. The air shifted. Even the birds seemed to pause. And in a single fluid motion, she picked up the rifle, not with bravado, but with the inevitable grace of someone who understood precision down to the beat of her heart. Shot after shot cracked through the noon air. Targets fell cleanly, methodically, almost rhythmically. Trainees watched with parted lips. Officers exchanged stunned glances. The cadets who mocked her stood frozen, faces pale, their pride dissolving in the sunlight. When the final target dropped, she lowered the rifle and looked at them, not with vengeance, but with soft disappointment. "Respect," she said quietly, "isn't earned by mocking someone. It's earned by understanding what it took for them to stand here at all." The yard remained silent for a long moment. Then, applause. Slow at first, then swelling like a wave, as everyone recognized what they had just witnessed. Because courage doesn't shout. Sometimes it simply steps into daylight and lets the truth speak for itself. And sometimes the person you laugh at in the morning is the one who saves your life in the afternoon. Because kindness doesn't vanish. It waits, and it finds its way back. And sometimes the tattoo they mocked is the very story that brings the light back into the day. Thank you for listening. If this story moved you, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more powerful daytime stories just like this one.